the Lone Star Rivalry, smack dab in the capital of the Lone Star State. The first time since 2010, that's 15 years since these two teams have played in the great city of Austin. And I mean, they've waited so long for this game. It's finally here. It's on Friday night, 6:30 on ABC with so much on the line. I cannot wait for this one. I've been looking forward to this one all season long. These two fan bases, of course, have been looking forward to this one all season long. And I mean, man, oh man, I've had the great privilege of growing up in the great city of Houston, which is located in the great city of Texas. And I've been around Aggie fans. I've been around Longhorn fans, and I love both of them. They're both great people, and they're both Texan and American together. And it's really really fun to be around both of these fan bases. They're both great. But when this week rolls around, when this game is coming to a head, these two fan bases hate each other. They hate each other on like anything in college sports. I know there's a bunch of rivalries in college football that have an intense amount of hatred. But this one, just like all those, is something special for sure. And it's festered. I mean, we went 14 years, 13 years without this rivalry, which was a crime in and of itself. And finally last year we got Texas A&M versus Texas. It was in College Station. It was an awesome game. The hype leading up to it was something I've never seen before. And this year, this game is going to be just as fun, in my opinion, between the Aggies and the Longhorns. So let's get into it. First of all, what is at stake for the Texas Longhorns? First of all, with a win, Texas will have their first win in Austin versus Texas A&M since 2008. The last time these two teams played in Austin, A&M actually beat Texas back in 2010, 24-17, I think was the final score of that game. Texas, with a win, would also end Texas A&M's perfect season, and let me tell you, they would love nothing more than to do that to their bitter rivals. And they would give themselves a teeny tiny, at least a small chance to make the playoffs, maybe. I mean, you can argue that as much as you want to. But if they win this game against Texas A&M, at least there's a conversation to be had. I'm not going to say, in my opinion, if they should or shouldn't be in the playoffs if they win this game. I'll talk about that if they do win the game, because there's a very large chance that they won't. But I'm just saying, if they win that game, at least they insert themselves into the conversation. With a loss, Texas will go 8-4 in the regular season, and 8-4 is not up to snuff in Austin, Texas. Let me tell you that. If they lose, they will have lost two straight to A&M in Austin, which they don't want. And because of that, they would have to watch a 12-0 undefeated Texas A&M fan celebrate, sing their war hymns, do their weird traditions in the middle of DKR, and that would just be a revolting sight for Texas Longhorn fans. That's the last thing they want to see. And with the loss, they will 100% for sure be eliminated from the playoffs. If a three-loss team has never made the playoffs, there's no way 8-4 Texas would make the playoffs. So that is what is at stake for the Longhorns. What is at stake for the Aggies, you might ask? Well, with a win, A&M has their first win against Texas since 2010. It's been 15 years since the Aggies have taken down the Horns. And of course, they had a chance last year with the SEC championship game on the line, and they went down at home. They have a chance to revenge that loss here for the first time since 2010. Of course, that would be a huge win for this program. They would be 12-0 in the regular season. They would have a perfect regular season for just the second time in program history. The last time coming in 1991 or 1992, one of the two. So I've said multiple times on the channel, this could be the best Texas A&M team of all time. If they win this game, I mean, it's tough to debate that. This would also be their first SEC championship game appearance ever. If A&M wins this game, they are in Atlanta 100%, and that would be the first time they've ever appeared in that game. They've only been in the SEC since 2012, so I believe that would make this, the math department is giving me the answer, 13. This is their 13th year in the SEC. This would be the first time that they are in the playoffs, or not in the playoffs, in the SEC championship game. A&M is already firmly in the playoffs, so the playoff berth is not on the line for the Aggies. Just want to make sure that that's clear. If A&M loses this game, then they still haven't beaten Texas since 2010. You think Ohio State is mad that they haven't beaten Michigan in 5 years? Try 10 more years. That will be how long it's been since A&M has beaten Texas, and they do not want that. It would be 3 straight losses to the Longhorns. Just bitter taste in their mouths for A&M. Even if A&M goes on to win the national championship at 11-1 regular season, they will still be mad that they didn't beat Texas for sure. It also their perfect season will be ruined by their arch rivals, That's never a good thing. Being 11-0 going into the last week, whether you're Alabama going in to play Auburn or you're Ohio State going in to play Michigan, and you have a perfect season on the line and everything's gone right, and you lose to your biggest rival, oh, that is just awful for a team. So A&M would have to go through that if they lost this game, and they would have to wave goodbye to the SEC championship game, which has been in their sights all season long. So that's what's at stake. So much is at stake in this football game. So let's break it down. Let's see how Texas can win it and how Texas A&M can win. We're going to start with this Texas offense. I'm just going to go out and say Texas's offense right now is literally just entirely Arch Manning. I mean, their offensive line cannot pass block at all. I mean, you see here they've allowed 21 sacks this year, which is eighth in the SEC. And you might say to yourself, that's not bad. Only 21 sacks, eighth in the SEC. That's exactly middle of the table. Robert, what are you talking about? Their offensive line that can't pass block. That's pretty solid. The only reason that they only have allowed 21 sacks this year is because Arch Manning is breaking sacks like out of his mind. He is so big. He is so strong. He stands in the pocket, gets speed rushed by 280-pound defensive linemen, and just brushes them off. I don't know how he does it. He is a statue in the pocket that cannot be brought down. It is crazy. But Arch Manning all year has had absolutely no time to throw. He also has not had a consistent run game at all. They're 14th in the SEC, as you can see right here, in rushing yards per game. They can't run the ball. Literally, their entire run game is give it to Trey Wisner and hope that he breaks 3 tackles and picks up 9 yards. That's literally it. They have not been able to run the ball in between the tackles at all. Their offensive line has generated no creases, and it's kind of embarrassing, to be completely honest, that the offensive guru wizard Steve Sarkisian cannot figure out how to run the football. And then, of course, their wide receivers, you know, if you're a Texas fan, they've been so inconsistent this year. I mean, it took Ryan Wingo so long to pop. At the beginning of the year, he was kind of a non-factor. And then against the Georgia, in the Georgia game, they had so many drops. Like, Texas's wide receivers have not been giving Arch Manning very many favors at all. That being said, there are some things that this Texas offense does well. I think their RPO game is really, really good, whether it's swing screens or RPO hitches. I think extensions of the run game is something Sark prides himself on. I think he's very good at that. Um, and they need it because they can't block. So RPOs are very, very helpful. Ryan Wingo is going to have to make plays in this game. He's going to have to make plays all season for Texas if they want to move the ball offensively. And Arch Manning really is an absolute stud at the quarterback position. He can make plays outside the pocket. He's got elite arm talent, elite arm power. So I really, really like Arch Manning. And they don't turn the ball over. They've only turned the ball over 8 times all season long. That's pretty impressive in my opinion. And a lot of that is Arch taking care of the football, and they haven't fumbled it all very much this year either. So credit to their backs as well. But this Texas offense is going to have to go up against this Texas A&M defense, which is so scary. A&M's defense is so good. I've talked a lot about A&M's defense, and everyone always says, "Oh, it's a Mike Elko defense." Like Mike Elko is that's a scary thing. And the first sort of season and a half that I saw from Texas A&M under Mike Elko, I thought a Mike Elko defense like that didn't mean anything to me. Like last year, they weren't very good on defense. Do we remember the Auburn game? They gave up like 45 points to Peyton Thorne in Auburn. That was not a good performance. And even in a lot of their other big games, like South Carolina, what was the other game they lost last year? It was early in the year. Notre Dame, well, they played good against Notre Dame defensively. But they were just very inconsistent defensively last year and also kind of this year. Like early in the year against Notre Dame, they did not put up a good defensive performance. And I was doubting the Mike Elko defense, but boy, did they prove me wrong because this defense is nuts. They're 5th in the SEC in yards allowed per game. So, I mean, statistically, they're a top 5 defense in the SEC. And most of that is because Mike Elko's blitz packages are insane. They have 39 sacks this year, which is second in the SEC, only behind Boomer Sooner, the Oklahoma Sooners. And because of their ability to get home so fast, it's not just Cassius Howell winning, although Cassius Howell does have an 11.5 sacks this year. It's all of the stunts that they run, and it's crazy. I mean, just when you're watching Friday night, just watch the pass rush from Texas A&M because it is otherworldly. I don't know how Mike Elko draws it up. It is so good. And of course, this pass rush is going up against the Texas A&M offensive line that can't pass block. So that's just such a heavy advantage towards A&M. I think they're going to be in the backfield all night long. Whether they can bring Arch Manning down is a different question because nobody seems to be able to do that. But they're going to be in the backfield for sure. And because of their dominance, I mean, they are the best defense in the country on third down. They're only allowing their opponents to convert 22% of third downs. That's crazy. They can get up off the field. They can tackle. Their linebackers are great. Scooby Williams has been out since the Florida game, I think, is when he was injured. But Damian Sanford has been filling in really well from him. And then Torian York is one of the best linebackers in the country. If C.J. Allen didn't exist, I would say he's the best linebacker in the SEC. He's phenomenal. And then, I mean, their secondary is really good too. They're fourth in the SEC in passing yards allowed per game. They play a lot of man coverage. I am not a big man coverage person. Like if I was a defensive coordinator, what I would do is I would drop back, play cover three, play Tampa 2, whatever it is, and make teams beat you down the field and not give up big plays and not make things easy for offensive coordinators. But Texas A&M thinks they can cover you. So they play man coverage, single high safety, they blitz, and they get after you. And I think they do it so successfully. I really, really love watching this defense. So let's flip it around. Let's look at Texas A&M's offense now. This, again, is an offense that's been potent this year. Marcel Reed's getting a lot of praise. He's in the Heisman conversations. I don't know exactly what the odds are right now, but he's definitely at least in like the top three of the Heisman odds, I think. I think it's him, Mendoza, and Jeremiah Love are probably the top three. I'm not sure. But he's a great, great player. And honestly, I've been hating on Marcel Reed a little bit this year. I think I look at his stats. I see 25 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. That's solid. But the 61% completion percentage, I'm a big completion percentage guy. I don't think Marcel Reed is the most efficient quarterback. He misses throws. He's very like jittery with his feet, in my opinion. And because of that, and he lacks arm strength, so he kind of struggles to push the ball down the field. And he sprays some throws occasionally because of his jittery feet. But he's still a great runner. And I mean, their run game is explosive. Their offensive line is so good. That's the best part of this offense is their offensive line. They're third in the SEC in rushing yards per game. They can run the football. And I know they have running back issues. I know that Reuben Owens is sort of banged up, and Le'Veon Moss, I think, is doubtful for this game. Behind him, though, they have E.J. Smith, and they have that other freshman dude, who I can never remember his name. But A&M's offensive line is nasty. It is really good. They've only allowed 11 sacks all season long. That's first in the SEC. And Marcel Reed has had all day to throw. Their running backs have had so many creases open up, and their jet motion is so good. It's some of the best jet motion that you will see in college football. And what that means basically is the quarterback is in shotgun with a running back to his left, and he sends either Mario Craver, Terry Bussey, Casey Concepcion in motion across his face, snaps the ball as he's coming across the face, and reads the defensive end with the jet motion player. And A&M does that almost better than anybody in the country. I'm really interested to see if they go at Colin Simmons because Vanderbilt tried to go right at Colin Simmons, and Colin Simmons sort of ate it up. But if you read Colin Simmons, then you don't have to block him, and you can't block the guy. So I'm really interested to see how A&M attacks Colin Simmons. But their run game is really good, and their wide receivers, of course, are dynamic. So this is a good offense. They're going up against a really good Texas defense. This Texas defense is elite, especially in the front seven. And you can definitely see that by they're third in the SEC in rushing yards allowed per game. I think they're behind Oklahoma and, who's the other team? I don't remember right now. But Texas's front seven is elite. They're 20. They only have 21 sacks this year, which is not the most elite thing in the world. But Colin Simmons is so good. Like Colin Simmons, it might be the best defensive player in college football. Caleb Downs is great. C.J. Allen is great. But Colin Simmons is so good. He is so twitchy at the line of scrimmage. He's a great run stopper. You can't pass block him one-on-one. He will either speed rush you with elite hands or he'll just bull rush you straight into the quarterback. He is a dog. So Texas has to utilize him on every single play. You cannot let A&M take him out of the football game. Anthony Hill is such an insane athlete. He's crazy good. And I think he's 100% healthy. I mean, that interception against Georgia was unreal. He's got 4 sacks this year, 2 interceptions. He's been all over the field. And Michael Taft is healthy. And I love Michael Taft. So I'm glad that he's on the field. That's why I want healthy baby hook him. Woo! Because Michael Taft's a fun player. Let's see, what else do I have to say about this Texas defense? Their secondary. I don't think their secondary is very elite. They're 13th in the SEC in passing yards allowed per game. That's not great. They're very young in the secondary. I think they maybe have some injuries, but they're not a great tackling team, and that could be a problem because A&M's wide receivers, if anything, can make you miss in the open field. Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion, and Terry Bussey are just so good at one-on-ones in space. And Texas's defense struggles to tackle, and they did against Georgia too. So that's another interesting matchup to look out for. But this is a solid Texas defense. So I am interested to see how the front seven of Texas, how elite they are, whether it's getting to the quarterback, whether it's stopping the run. I'm really fascinated to see how they match up against A&M's elite offensive line. I think that battle might just decide the game. So I chewed all that up. I got all the information for this game, everything that's at stake. It's in Texas. It's at night. Texas's elite defensive front seven going up against A&M's offensive line. I got A&M's pass rush going up against Texas's very weak offensive line. I've got the legendary Arch Manning, how good he's been playing recently. And all of that I've taken in, all the information leads me to one final conclusion, and that is that the Texas A&M Aggies are going to enter DKR, and they're going to take down the Longhorns to finish their perfect season. I got A&M winning in a defensive slug-out 17-10. The main reason, honestly, for this game being in favor of A&M is their pass rush. I mean, Texas's offensive line is such a glaring weakness, and Texas A&M's pass rush is such a glaring strength that I have to pick A&M to just be in the backfield all night. I think it's so obvious. And Texas can't run the ball against anybody. They're sure as heck not going to be able to run the ball against A&M. And then when I look at Texas's elite front seven against A&M's offensive line, it was such a similar matchup from the Georgia game where Georgia's run game was playing so good against this elite Texas front, and Georgia found success on the ground. So I think A&M could do the same. I think if A&M keeps their offense simple, I think they win. And by that, I mean giving your wide receivers chances to break tackles one-on-one, throwing the ball at near behind the line of scrimmage to Terry Bussey, Casey Concepcion, and Mario Craver, and having them make plays, and then running the football and running play action off of that, and just not putting the ball in Marcel Reed's hands 40 times a game and asking him to beat you down the field. Because that's not how they're going to win this game. They're going to turn the ball over. And the one thing you cannot do against an offense that is struggling like Texas is turn the ball over and give them the ball in the short field. If you want to know why, just watch the Alabama-Oklahoma game. That Oklahoma offense was really struggling that year, or this year. They can't run the ball consistently, and John Mateer has not been really elite in a long time. But what did Alabama do? They threw a pick six. They fumbled twice in their own territory, and they basically handed Oklahoma 20 points. If you're A&M, you cannot do that against Texas because that will just give their offense so many favors. But this being said, I think Texas has a chance to win this game. I would not be surprised that all of Texas pulls it off. In my opinion, defense and special teams are key. If you can get a big punt return from Niblett, that would be huge. But do not give Casey Concepcion a chance to punt return on you because that dude is electric. And then Colin Simmons, Anthony Hill, and Michael Taft need to make so many plays because I don't really trust the rest of this defense to make plays. They're young. The defensive line is good. They're big down there and they're experienced transfers. But the secondary, I just don't trust it. Offense, of course, is going to be a huge challenge. But if they can get one big play from either Trey Wisner or Arch Manning just making a crazy play rolling out, or Ryan Wingo taking a swing pass to the door, if they can do one of those things, then they can maybe give themselves a chance. And also, they cannot turn the ball over. But I just trust A&M more in this game. I've got the Aggies winning for the first time over the Longhorns in 15 years. And I got them singing Hullabaloo Connect on their field at the end to complete their 12-0 season and head into Atlanta. But I would not be surprised if Texas won. So thanks for watching, folks. Jesus loves you. I love you. And I'll see you all in the next one. God bless.